Hello and welcome to this Learning Assistant tutorial on how to use the Processes tab. So first of all, you need to come to the Processes tab at the bottom, and then you need to go to the Process Manager. Now you can see here that I've previously created two milestone processes, both for Business Administrator, and I'm going to repeat that process back today so that you can see how I did this. You need to come to the button on the right hand side that says Create Process and type in the details. Now, a lot of organisations have started to use this for apprenticeships to track the milestones within apprenticeships, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit more in a moment. So after we click Save and make sure you leave the status on Active, you can see here that the process has actually appeared at the top. What we want to do is come in and click on that process, and in the top right hand corner you'll notice that it says Tasks. Now within this task list we're then going to add a few different apprenticeship milestones for the Business Administrator. Underneath at the bottom you can select the time scale. You can also type in a description around that particular task. So we may want to say that this is actually going to take place 40 weeks after the start of that apprenticeship. Now the way that processes will work is if you have a learner that enrolls on the 1st of January, it will show you when that task is due 40 weeks after the 1st of January. However, if you have another learner that starts on the 1st of February, the process will show you when that particular task is due 40 weeks after the 1st of February. You can see here that we need to select course start date. And on the right hand side we can choose who is responsible for signing off that process. So in this instance I'm going to select the primary and secondary verifiers and click Save. Now you can repeat this back for a number of different tasks. So to show you the one that I've done earlier, I'm going to come in and click on this one here that says Business Administration Milestones. And this is just to give you a few ideas. In the top right hand corner, if I then come back in and click on Tasks, and you can see here that we've put in a number of different things. We've got the first quality assurance sample, second quality assurance sample, first appointment sign-off date, then we've got the mock EPA and a pre-gateway quality assurance sample. You can use this tab however you'd like to for any form of process. Some centres have used this for one-to-one reviews to track when the one-to-one reviews are due. Others have used this to sign off tasks for maths and English. It is completely up to you what you use it for, but this is just one successful way that centres have been using this tab to be able to customise a lot of their apprenticeship programmes. Okay, now in order to assign learners to this process, we need to come to this section here on the right hand side. You can see under this little people icon, and you can see this is a long list of just the demonstration learners that we have in our demo accounts. But all we need to do to be able to sign that process is move that learner from this side by clicking on the plus to the right hand side. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log in as that assessor. Okay, so now we're logged in as the assessor. we can see down the right hand side we actually have a processes tab as well. And if I come in and click on here, this is showing me any processes that are due or have passed. So we can see this one here on the 27th of July. For Joe Bloggs, the first appointment is actually due and needs to be signed off. Now there's two things we can do. We can either simply just click the sign off button, or if you would like to add in some details around this, we can say that it's been started or completed. So let's say, for example, I've just started this today. We can put the action date in as the 16th of the 9th. We can even choose to copy that to Contact Diary, because if it is something that the learner needs to see, then by copying the comments to Contact Diary, it means that anything that is recorded around this first appointment will be tracked in that audit trail. Okay. Now you can see then that we get a little blue flag on the left hand side to say that this task has been started, because bearing in mind sometimes you may start a task and then you may have a couple of actions that need to take place before you can actually sign that task off. Once we are ready to sign that off, again you can click this button here, or if you want to make sure that you copy that to Contact Diary, we need to label it as complete, click it to Contact Diary. We could upload any attaching documents or materials, and then we can click save. Okay. Now we then have a recently completed task tab. If I come and click on that, we can see here that for Joe Bloggs as the candidate, this was actually signed off today on the 16th of September. If we come to learners, and I'm just going to find Joe Bloggs portfolio. We can see that that has actually been published, like we said, within the Contact Diary. So first appointment was the task that we had to sign off within the process. For business administrator apprenticeship, had we have typed in some feedback in the commentary box, then it would be appearing here. Then we've got the status as complete. You can see the one that I signed off before was as started. And then we've got one related document that's actually been attached. So this allows the learner at that point to see that process. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log back in as a super user, and I'm going to show you how to run reports off the back of this. So having logged back in as a super user, I'm now going to come to this tab here that says process reports. Now if you'd created lots of different milestones for lots of different apprenticeships, because bearing in mind each apprenticeship standard is a little bit different, and therefore you may have different tasks within the process that you need your assessors and verifiers, perhaps even work-based recorders or expert witnesses to sign off, then you'll get a long list of those processes under this tab here. Now if I come and click on this, we can see it gives us a really nice key at the bottom to tell us whose tasks have been signed off and whose are still outstanding. So what this means is for Sally Smith, this was actually due on the 16th and it was signed off on the 11th of September. It shows you who it was completed by. Kirsty Jones is actually the verifier, whereas for Jack Smith and Tom Jones and Joe Bloggs, those tasks are still outstanding. Now because these learners started their apprenticeships at different times, you can see that the due date for that particular task is actually different. Any of these here that are in white are actually due, so it means that they've not actually taken place yet. and then any that are in green means that it's been signed off and accepted. So hopefully that just gives you a few ideas about how to utilise the Process tab. Should you have any questions, please contact our Learning Assistant support team on 0141 341 5730 or email digitalsupport@cityandguilds.com, and myself, as one of the digital solutions managers, or a colleague would be happy to talk you through this tab. Thank you very much for listening.